In this week's episode, we take a look at the first trailer for the upcoming Super Mario Bros. Movie.
Plus, we take a look at the streaming future of gaming. My name is Anthony.
And I'm Barry. This is episode 69 of the Retro Gaming Dads podcast, the podcast for everything retro and retro-inspired.
So, what games have we been playing this week?
I think I've only been playing Grounded, to be honest.
Yeah, we took a dive back into Grounded. Now that's got a full game release in. And it's quite a lot been added, hasn't there?
Yeah, it's a little bit darker than I expected as well.
Yeah. Do you know what? I was reading something, I think it was actually today, saying that Grounded is actually quite a horror movie, if you think about it, with all the spiders and everything else. It's kind of quite traumatizing if you've got arachnophobia.
Well, I don't have arachnophobia. However, just on that related note, Kerry has told me I am no longer allowed to play the Xbox in the bedroom.
Why is that?
Maybe because we've been playing it in the middle of the night while she's asleep, and I'll just be running around and like one of those bloody wolf spiders just come like scurrying out of a hole. I'm like, ah!
And the amount of times we'll sort of be creeping on, look around what's going on, and all of a sudden this spider just goes, you're like, God. Well, you had experience with them, didn't you? The orb weavers.
I don't know what triggered it, if anything. They've added some sort of like wave defense. It just popped up in the corner. Payback. And we're like, what do you mean payback? And then like loads of orb weavers just started running out of all the bushes and everything, attacking me. We didn't really have much of a base. We've basically gone, this is where we're going to put the base.
We had a foundation and some walls and that was it.
They just wrecked everything, including me, repeatedly. But the thing is, because they attacked the base, every time I respawned, I'd respawn at the base. They were straight on me.
It sounds horrific. Now,
it was.
I wasn't playing
really
that time, so I missed out on that, but Barry just got demolished from the sounds of it.
I've been playing quite a lot of it through streaming on the Steam Deck, something which will be relevant later in this episode.
Oh,
and it's been quite a good experience, actually. I've been enjoying it. I've been like just lying in bed, playing like half an hour or something before I go to sleep.
Well, it's one of those where it's a very chill game, and obviously you can go out
those bloody orb weavers attack me. It was
well,
all the fish,
other than
all the
that,
stink bugs.
But it's kind of one of those where if you're careful, you can survive quite a while without an issue. And I don't feel like constant on edge, other than now knowing there's like a wave attack at some point. But I think it's
the
quite
more
a
worrying thing
game.
about that is I have no idea what triggered it.
Did we kill a certain amount of spiders and then it was like, all right, next night cycle? Was it during the night or day it attacked?
It was during the night,
horrific.
but I think it was kind of like later on in the night going into the day. I don't think it was like, oh, it hit 8 o'clock and now you've been attacked or something.
Yeah. I don't know. It sounds quite terrifying.
It was. And it's more worrying that I just don't know what actually triggered it.
Next we'll have wolf spiders coming at us. Now that's even worse.
Have you played anything else this week?
Other than playing Mortals Phoenix Rising every now and then? No, not at all.
Should we get into the news?
Yeah, of course. But before we do, as always, we need to give a shout out to our Patreon subscribers, Bobby Socks and Short Gizmo. Again, we thank you so much for your continued support. It really does help us. Now,
because you took so long actually managing to fiddle around with your headset and whatnot, and get into the call so that we could actually record this podcast.
Whatever.
I've managed to find some Sonic the Hedgehog news for you for this week.
Why can't I get a week by without some sort of Sonic news?
We didn't have any last week.
Did we not? Oh, it wouldn't surprise me.
No.
The image of the show
I did tell
notes.
you about the games that I picked up instead.
Oh, there you go. See?
That's not news. That's not news.
Oh, still Sonic-related stuff.
First DLC has been announced for the upcoming Sonic Frontiers, and this DLC is a crossover with Monster Hunter Rise.
So, it looks like you got a skin and maybe an emote.
Yeah, so I believe what it is, it's actually 2 costumes for Sonic. So, Monster Hunter inspired costumes, plus a little mini game based on the cooking game from Monster Hunter. So you can get like, I think it gives you a buff. I'm guessing it's a temporary buff.
Okay. Is this free or paid DLC though?
This is
my
free.
question.
This is free DLC.
Okay.
And it launches a few days after the game on the 14th of November.
Do you know what? I mean, something like this, if they release it as paid for 2 skins and a little mini game, I think that's quite cheap. But I'm glad that it's free because something like this I don't think should be payable, if you know what I mean. It's not the sort of thing.
If it was like £1, I wouldn't have an issue with it. If it was $7.99 for 2 skins and a bonus mini game, I'd be like, nah.
No chance.
Absolutely not. Going from one of the most iconic characters with Sonic to his arch nemesis, Mario, have you seen the trailer for the upcoming Super Mario Brothers movie?
I have, and at the very start, that's awesome with the sort of Bowser Castle coming over and that little scene they had with the penguins. That was amazing. And then Mario came in and it's like, oh yeah, that's great. And then you had the voice to it.
Oh, it's Chris Pratt doing a Brooklyn accent.
Yeah, it's Chris Pratt. That sounds nothing like Mario at all.
I find his accent in it unoffensive.
Oh yeah, no, don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with the accent. It's just not Mario. It doesn't speak to me. Yes, that's what I wanted.
The thing is, it was picked up ahead of time with him going, this is going to blow your socks off. You know, it's Mario as you've never heard them. And in all fairness, he's right. I've never heard Mario sound like Chris Pratt. So I suppose he was right in that instance. I thought Jack Black as Bowser was pretty good, though.
Yes.
I quite liked his voice.
No, it's very well.
And thankfully Toad weren't as screechy as he has been in like previous games and that.
No, however, I did miss the fact that when Mario's jumping around, you wouldn't hear him go, hui, 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 jumping around on the mushrooms. I am excited to hear Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong. I think he should do a good job.
What would you do if he was in it and it was a bit like Groot? It was like Vin Diesel be playing Groot and all he goes is, I am Groot. And all it is Seth Rogen going,
Do you know what? I'd be like, that's a waste of money.
Yeah.
Honestly, the amount that flipping Vin Diesel got paid just to say, I am Groot.
Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong.
Oh, Again, another waste of money for a voice actor.
Just out of curiosity, have you watched the French trailer?
I haven't, but you did tell me about it.
Right, go watch it right now.
Okay.
Let me know what you think of his voice.
A few moments later.
Do you know, I did quite like it because the way that his sort of voice went higher towards the end of the word.
Yes, he's jumping across the mushrooms.
You know, it's kind of, it has that Mario flair, I guess you could say.
Yeah, because I saw on Twitter lots of people going, I'm going to go watch Mario in French. I'm like, what? And I watched the French trailer. I was like, all right, okay. So you get the feeling of the Mario character. You just don't understand what on earth's going on. Unless you're French.
Oh, no, not at all. But in all fairness, if it's going to be going, if he's going to be speaking like that, you kind of like, I might have the subtitles.
Well, depends if they have the subtitles at the movie.
Because Mario has to have those high-pitched moments. That's what you, when you think of Mario, you do have the, it's the me and Mario. Do you mean it's not, it's the me and Mario.
The voice provided by Charles Martinet's kind of iconic now as being Mario's voice.
Yeah,
and
to change it,
I think that's what people are just expecting. And Chris Pratt, it's not the voice he's given the character. I say, I don't think it's bad from the very small snippets they hear in the trailer, but I wasn't like, wow, that's amazing.
No, but it's just not what we were expecting. Yeah.
Well, actually, it was exactly what I was expecting, to be honest.
Oh, yeah, in all fairness. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's not what we were hoping for.
Oh, yeah, it's not what we were hoping for.
Unless they're going to do like Sonic did and they showed us this, but it actually will be sound different in the movie.
No, I doubt it. When I first saw Mario, though, and I did mention this to you, and I think you agreed to me, it did remind me of Wreck-It Ralph. I felt like it was a Wreck-It Ralph character cosplaying as Mario.
Yeah, but it wasn't just that. I think, so when he came out the pipe, I mean, I know, obviously, the moves are similar style animations, but like I said, so he came through and I was like, it looks like a Wreck-It Ralph character, or he looks like he's from Wreck-It Ralph.
Yeah, but don't forget Illumination didn't do Wreck-It Ralph.
No, I know he didn't, but seeing him go off across the mushrooms, it kind of gave me a Wreck-It Ralph feel to it as such.
For me, it was more just the way the character looked, his face.
Yeah.
I've been quite intrigued. It looks like Mario doesn't belong to the Mushroom Kingdom. That he's like teleported there somehow, just because he's questioning where is he and stuff. Hopefully, it's better than 1993 Super Mario Brothers movie.
I've not watched that, but I guess at some point I need to watch it.
We need to watch it. We need to watch it. It's one of those movies. It's so bad it actually becomes enjoyable. I know I've mentioned this multiple times.
Well, next time we have a games night, we'll actually just watch that instead and just cringe.
Bob Hoskins as Super Mario.
I think I saw the trailer and I was like, oh my days, this is shocking.
Yeah, honestly, it's appalling, but it's so bad. It's enjoyable. Like, you're like, how did they mess this up so much?
Oh, because they didn't think about it. Now, we didn't see many characters within it. So we saw Bowser and his Koopa Troopers, weren't they? And then the Penguins, and then we saw Toad and Mario. I thought Toad suited. I think that was a right voice. I felt when I saw Toad, I was like, yeah, that's kind of what I'll picture.
Yeah, thankfully, it hasn't got that really scratchy, screechy voice that I think Jen Taylor, the person who done Cortana, she was the one who gave him that voice originally. It's got a tiny hint of it, but thankfully, it's not.
It's not displeasing to the ears.
Yeah. Don't forget, we do briefly see Luigi as well at the end. He's running away from the dry bones.
Very, very quickly. Now, I'm excited to watch this. We know it's got released for 2023, but that's all we know. We don't know more of a date, do we?
I could imagine this being definitely a summer movie.
Oh, yeah. I think it's definitely one of those summer blockbusters. And I think this will easily hit high in the box office quite quickly.
But you reckon it'll beat Sonic?
No.
No.
I don't. I really don't.
I feel like it could beat Sonic in terms of how many people go and see it.
Maybe because obviously you've got so many Mario games, you've got Superstar games and other stuff like that, and obviously all these characters are in those sorts of games, all the Mario Party games and that. They're party games that all the younger kids will definitely play a lot more. So I don't know. I think it might be close.
I don't know. I think with it being a completely animated movie, might give it slight advantage in attracting a younger audience. And the thing is, if one kid goes to watch it, you've got a minimum of one adult has to go with them.
Yeah, it's the same as Sonic, though.
No, I think with Sonic being a live action, there was a lot more people like me who just go and watch it because I wanted to go and watch it.
No,
the first Sonic movie, we palmed Elliot off on me dad, and me and Kerry went and watched it. Not for Valentine's Day though. That was a bit of a sore subject.
I was about to say let's breeze over that one.
Yeah. Right. So before we get into this week's cloud gaming heavy episode, actually, we'd just like to ask for your help. Yeah, I'm talking to you specifically, whoever's listening to this. All we ask is that you just take 1 minute and leave us an honest review on your favourite podcasting app. It helps us massively.
Alternatively, if you are able to, you can join our Patreon for as little as £1 per month, where you will receive an ad-free version of the podcast and get a shout out on our next episode. Are we going straight in with a sore subject?
Well, it's not a sore subject for me because I never invested in this.
Yeah, not a subject, but I mean, a very...
It's mind-boggling.
Yeah, 100%. When I saw this today, I was like, what? So, Google have now announced their cloud gaming focused Chromebooks after just cancelling Google Stadia 2 weeks ago. They said, hang on a second, wait. We've got a new gaming laptop instead.
This, obviously, they were designing these and they were going to advertise it with Stadia, and no one told them that they were shutting down Stadia. I'm positive that's what's happened in this case. And like, oh no, we've got a gaming-focused Chromebook, actually 3 gaming-focused Chromebooks.
Yes, 3.
And we've just shut down our only way to play like high-end games.
I mean, what are they doing?
I don't even think they know, to be honest.
Surely people can be completely hesitant about it. After what's just happened with Stadia, if people have heard about it and heard the extent of how bad it's gone, yes, it's a cloud gaming laptop, and yes, it's going to be focused on being able to run other streaming platforms,
Mm.
people are going to be hesitant because it's Google.
Do you know what? I wouldn't buy this, not because it's a cloud-based product by Google, because thankfully they're pushing it with NVIDIA GeForce Now and Xbox Game Pass. Or if you live in the US, you also get Amazon's, what's it called, Luna, sorry. So you have got other options, thankfully. Irrespective of what Google decide to kill next, you'll still hopefully be able to use these services for many years in the future. The reason I won't get it is I don't know the prices of this, but for this sort of tech in a Chromebook, something which inherently is more limited than, say, a MacBook or a Windows PC, I think this is going to be up towards the price of some of these more premium devices like the MacBook. At that point, I'd rather just buy a MacBook or something like, I don't know, a Surface laptop and have a bit more of a better standalone computer, which can still access all of these cloud streaming services anyway.
I just thought it was a very strange collaboration to release out. I don't quite understand why. I don't think a Chromebook needs to be put as a streaming device, if I'm honest.
Well, no, it's nice to be a streaming device, but the fact that they've gone out the way to add things like Wi-Fi 6 and Wi-Fi 6E, that's something that we mentioned on the Logitech G Cloud device.
Yeah.
That would realistically be something I would class as essential nowadays to include on a streaming dedicated device. And fortunately, these free Chromebooks have that. But RGB backlit keys and 120 hertz high resolution displays.
That display itself in it sounds
like a nice display. Don't get me wrong, but it sounds like it's a lot of extra cost for what at the end of the day is still a Chromebook. It's not as if you won't be able to stream these games on something that isn't a gaming Chromebook.
No, of course not. I mean, most devices would stream this even if it's nowhere near a gaming level Chromebook. But for the cost that's going to come with it, I don't think it's going to be really justifiable. It's going to have to come in at a lower price for people to be interested in this, I think.
To me, a Chromebook is a low-cost device.
Yeah.
I've never seen a high-end Chromebook do well.
But chucking in those screens, the Wi-Fi 6, it's going to push it up, though.
Yeah, it's like we used to sell Chromebooks and they range from like £250 up to like £400. And then we had the Google Pixel Chromebook. And if I remember right, it was like £1,000 or 1,100 quid. I don't think we ever sold a single one of them.
Oh, really?
I know we sent a load of them back.
Because no one's interested.
Yeah, who's going to pay 1,100 quid for a Chromebook when you could pay £1,000 for a MacBook or £1,000 for a Surface laptop or something like a HP Spectre, HP Envy, something like that, something a bit more premium.
Do you feel like Google's trying to dip their fingers in too many pies and it's just realizing that it's not got that much of a, they can't just go off the name?
I don't think they know what they're doing. They seem very aimless at the moment. They seem to have something like this, which was designed to support one of their services that they've just killed off and then announced this 2 weeks later. If I was Google, I'd think, the optics of this are going to look pretty bad. Should we hold off for another month or so before we announce?
Just wait a little bit. Hopefully, let the news die down that we've just killed off our complete, streaming platform to then release a Chromebook. That's a streaming. It's like, okay.
Well, if anyone's interested in one of these devices, what's wrong with you?
Yeah,
get something else.
Honestly, get checked out.
Unless these have some other features that aren't mentioned in the press release. I can't see them being good unless these are like £500, £600 maximum. In which case, it'd be pretty nice word processors.
You can still get secondhand, like a Surface Pro 4 for that price.
I saw on this Amazon 2-day deal, they had the Surface Pro X for 499 quid.
Well, there you go. So it's just kind of, do you really want to get the Chromebook? No, don't do it.
In all fairness, though, when Elliot's old enough, his first computer will probably be something like a Chromebook. If it's not a Chromebook, it'll be an iPad. Don't know, I think the iPad might win, to be honest. But it's something I would consider for him. but only like a £300 Chromebook, not a gaming edition Chromebook,
High
you know,
end,
with 120
120
hertz
hertz.
display and stuff. Yeah, exactly.
That's like buying a gaming computer for, I don't know, your reception computer.
Mm.
Like I know someone who did that.
Yeah. I just clicked what you're on about then. Oh, you got a, what was it? He was like, yeah, got a
It's an
GTX
i7.
1080.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
What are you using it for? Your gaming? You streaming? No, it's for the receptionist to use Excel.
Yeah. I got a really good deal, so I decided to just put it in the reception. I'm like, right.
Well, it's nice to see Microsoft trying to sneak Xbox Game Pass onto yet another device with the Chromebooks.
Yeah.
And
Getting everywhere.
like an itch you can't get rid of, they're spreading. Because they've also started appearing in Bing results, I've noticed. For anyone that actually uses Bing, that is.
I do for the points.
Well, yeah, that's the only reason I use it for. So if you search for a game that's in Game Pass or it's got a relevant result for it, the result actually has a little play button next to it. So through your Bing results, you can jump straight into that game.
I think that's actually quite funky. Because say you don't realize it's part of the Game Pass, you search for this game thinking, I might buy it. Search it on Bing,
exactly.
comes the same play, you're like, oh sweet, click play, and then you can start streaming straight away.
That's quite handy for me when you go, oh, that new game, I'll go search for that. And now it'll tell me it's in Game Pass. I don't need to buy it.
No, I don't think that will help. I think you will still end up buying it beforehand.
Well, yeah, probably.
You'll pre-order it and then you'll pre-order it and then a week later it goes, come into Game Pass.
That's usually what happens. But yeah, I had a little play around. So I searched for Grounded and Halo Infinite, and the buttons were there.
Yeah.
Click them, it takes you straight to the page, and you can start playing straight away.
So does it open an Xbox? So you straight through the browser there, or does it just launch it straight?
No, well,
from
I'm doing it on a Mac, so I don't have the Xbox app. It just does it straight through the browser.
All right. Does it? No, but what I mean is, it load it to another page to load it, or does it just open straight away?
No, it just when I done it and I clicked play, it went from the search result page through to the Xbox Game Cloud streaming beta page instead.
So it's very seamless.
Yeah, because I was already signed into Bing as well.
Yes.
Again, to get me points.
Yeah.
I didn't have to sign into the Xbox website either. It just straight in.
That's actually a pretty cool little feature. It's such a small little thing, but I think it's interesting.
Well, it's actually a feature that Google announced for Stadia 3 years ago.
Oh, really?
Which, as far as I'm aware, I might be wrong because I've not used Stadia, but as far as I'm aware, they never implemented into Google search.
I'm not surprised.
So Microsoft went, we'll do that.
You didn't do it. Let's just take that and use it ourselves. So not only has Microsoft integrated themselves into Bing results
and replaced Stadia on a Chromebook.
Oh, yeah. So I'm going to go to another one. They get themselves onto the Meta Quest 2. So you'll now be able to cloud stream through the Quest 2 itself. It won't be a VR game. It will just be like a 2D screen within the Quest. I think, again, there's a cool little feature.
It'd be like playing it on a bloody big screen.
Oh, massive. Didn't the Rift have this feature at some point? I'm sure we did it on your...
We did it on the Microsoft mixed reality headsets.
Oh, sorry, that was
so
it.
that Dell mixed reality headset I had. It went cloud streaming as in this, but it would stream from my Xbox to the headset. And you'd go and you'd sit in and it'd be like a theater room with this huge screen.
Yeah,
so we did try that. I'm a bit sad it won't come to my Quest because I've got the old original Meta Quest or Oculus Quest. So unfortunately, I won't be able to play this. And I ain't buying a new Oculus. Especially considering they put the price up £100 and the new Quest Pro is $1,500. So
yeah, that is insane.
A little bit too expensive for me.
You think? I think it's too expensive for most people. From the looks of it, it looks like it's more leaning towards companies, I think, more than just general day-to-day people.
Yeah. The Meta Quest Pro is definitely more of a commercial item rather than consumer item. But still, I refuse to buy a Meta Quest 2 now that I know they've gone up £100. Was it last month or the month before?
Playing on the Meta Quest, you won't be able to just play Grounded on your TV, but to play Grounded with a massive spider right in front of your face, a massive screen.
Oh yeah, if you've not got arachnophobia before that, you have no
pants off you. Oh yeah, talk about getting terrified. I think it's a cool little feature.
Moving on to our last bit of news, actually, and something completely different. So, if you didn't want to play Xbox cloud streaming on your headset, your competitors' laptops, or
a Bing search.
or within your Bing search, unfortunately, they haven't quite ironed out the kinks, but it's not running on a potato yet. But potentially another
Sadly.
place that you could play is a new Xbox streaming only console. Now, this is something we've talked about previously, and it's been rumored for. I heard rumors about a machine like this before the Xbox One was officially announced.
Yeah, it's been quite a while. This has been sort of floated about, isn't it?
Yeah. So, in a tweet from the ever illustrious Phil Spencer, he's shown a picture of his shelves with a Vault Boy toy on it to celebrate the 25th anniversary of the Fallout series, which makes me feel really, really old. And in typical fashion, everyone's looking for a little Easter egg after they found out the Xbox Series S was on his shelf in the background on a video once.
Well, it's not just on the Series S. How many times has he left something on his shelves and everyone's gone like, what's this? What's that? What's this?
Well, he done it with the Kojima Productions statue, didn't he? And then announced they're doing a game with him.
Yes, well, exactly. So it happens quite a lot.
Yeah, everyone's like looking over it. Because I looked at it and went, oh, what's that? What's that new console? The one on the right in the middle shelf. Then realised it was the Xbox accessibility controller.
Yes.
I thought it was a console because it looked like a Series S, but with two big grills on it, and then realised it was the big pads.
Hiding behind the Halo Infinite and the little statue.
Yeah, the little art book.
People point out a very small console, which actually, to me, looks like the size of the Kinect. Tiny, absolutely tiny.
It looks much smaller than the Kinect. From here, it looks like it's barely wider than an Xbox controller.
Yeah, it's. Oh, do you know what? Actually, saying that, sorry, I've rephrased it. Yeah, next to the Xbox controller. Yeah. So it looks like, I don't know, what would you say? 6 inches wide? So the Xbox is only just wider than the controller. And everyone's like, is this the fabled, rumoured streaming Xbox that's been going around for a while? Yeah. And didn't the official Microsoft account tweet back and say, what do we say about leaving the old concept devices about?
I didn't actually see that message.
Did you not see that? Okay, I'll pause. Let's just get to the...
So Microsoft themselves have announced that they are still working on a streaming-only device. So it's gone from being a Fire TV stick sort of design to like a little box, which this appears to be it.
Yes.
If they release this and just say it was, I don't know, £100 to £150, would you purchase one, assuming that you wanted a second Xbox for another room? Or do you think it'd sell well?
I might purchase one. If it's £100 to £150, I think I would. So it looks like it is almost certainly a concept, but it looks like it's something that they are progressing with. Seeing as though this seems to be one of their old prototypes, is this just a revision and we could be seeing something else at some point?
Possibly. I do think if it does come out and it is, say, £100 to £150, because I can't see it being much more expensive than that if you can get an Xbox Series S, quite often on sale for like £200, £220.
Yeah.
I think if it was £100, I'd probably get one just so I've got like a little mini Xbox on my desk.
Think about it. If it comes with £100, if that comes with a controller, that means the console itself is only about £50.
Yeah.
I would have no issue just buying the console by itself. Not even console, the streaming device by itself.
Yeah, if it comes with a controller for £100, definitely. I reckon £150 would probably be what a device like this would probably cost.
Yeah, because not only that, it will have some sort of memory to be able to have your apps on like Netflix and that to be able to run and stream stuff through.
I don't think it would. I think it'd just be the web interface. So I reckon it'd have some storage for like an onboard operating system to run like the browser that it goes through and that. I actually don't think...
So do you reckon that if you wanted to use something like Netflix, you'd have to use it through Bing web browser?
Probably, yeah. Maybe they might put some streaming... Yeah, maybe they would put streaming apps like Disney Plus and Netflix and that on it, perhaps. Yeah, now thinking about it. It'd certainly make it more appealing if someone was going to pay like £140 for a Apple TV, and one of these is £150, and you can watch Apple TV, Netflix, Disney Plus on it, plus stream Xbox games, and maybe chuck in like a month's worth of Xbox Game Pass Premium or something.
Exactly. This at least be something that I could happily have. Say I'm going over to my in-laws' house for a few days. Like, sweet. Let me just grab a console. It's a little box.
I was thinking take it into work and plug it up to your monitor like you do on your lunch with your phone.
Yeah, I'm on. Just sit there and watch some. Just said, have this. Boop, done.
I think it's certainly something that would have a market, but it'd be quite difficult in getting the majority of consumers to understand what it is, but also understand whether it's something that'd meet their needs. Say you're a little kid and your grandparents go, oh, look, there's an Xbox on sale for 100 quid, and they buy you one of these. And then you find out, the internet at your home's not that great, or your parents don't allow you to have access to the internet because you're quite young or something. I think that'd be its hurdles in trying to win people over and get an understanding of what it is that it isn't a traditional console. It was hard enough. Remember when the Xbox One S All Digital Edition came out?
Yes.
I was working in retail then, and loads of people were ringing them back going, yeah, I've just bought this and loads of games, and there's nowhere to put my games in it. And to me, like,
digital, that's why.
Well, obviously, it's an all digital edition. And they're like, yeah, well, to them, it was like, yeah, what's that mean? Doesn't mean anything to me. It's an Xbox One, and I bought an Xbox One game.
Well, surely then it's down to the consumers sort of knowing what they're selling.
Well, it's down to Xbox and Microsoft in conveying that information to the consumers to make sure they know.
Well, no, okay. So say you never heard of this device before. Device comes in, you look at it, and it obviously explains it's a streaming device. You would know what you're talking about, and advising the customer what it is.
We would, but I think there's a lot of people that wouldn't.
No, but if you already own a console and you hear that a streaming-only device is coming out, you will know what that entails.
Yeah, but don't forget, this would probably be aimed at people who don't have an Xbox console or aren't as much into gaming. Right, 2 examples I've got is, do you remember when Sky Plus came out and you could pause and rewind and that?
Oh, yeah.
Do you understand the technology behind it, that it buffers it onto your drive as you're watching it on your hard drive?
Yeah.
And all you're doing is rewinding and it's recording
it as it goes. Up for however long. Yeah.
Yeah, my mum didn't understand that. My mum couldn't wrap her head around it. She felt guilty for pausing TV because she thought it paused it for everyone else
in the world.
Yeah. So she felt really guilty that she was annoying other people when she paused or rewound.
Do you know what? My mum was the exact same thing saying that. At first, it took a while to realise that it's not for anyone, it's just our Skybox.
I explained to her how it worked, and she was really suspicious, as if I was just saying it to make her feel better. To me, it was like, oh my God, that's like the most stupid thing. How can you believe that? But to my mum, that was perfectly logical to believe that's what was happening. So that's one of the issues. Not everyone has the same understanding of technology. And another one, do you ever remember netbooks?
No.
Right, so one of the first netbooks was the Zeus EPC, and it was a little tiny device. It had like 2 gig of storage, ran a really basic version of Linux, and was bad, but cost 200 quid. Now, this is at a time when the cheapest Windows laptops were still like 500 quid. Loads of people bought them because they went, oh, well, it's a laptop for 200 quid. I know it's a little bit smaller. It's only 7-inch compared to 15-inch on that one. But it's a laptop. A laptop's a laptop. And they get it. And then they'd be like, well, why can't I download Microsoft Office? Or why can't I install MSN Messenger or ICQ or AIM or something like that? And you're like, yeah, it's basically a web browser and then open Office. That's all it was, essentially. And like, yeah, I don't know what you mean, but it's a laptop. My mate's got a laptop. He can put it on his. Why can't I put it on mine? And again, it was just the understanding. So if someone sees a little tiny console, they may just think, oh, it's a console like the bigger Xbox, just cheaper.
It's not big enough to fit a disc in it, but I'm sure it must read it somehow.
Well, not only that, because that's one thing to get round, but you're getting round that this isn't actually downloading the games to play them.
No, it's just streaming off wherever.
So if your internet goes off...
explain someone, it's just useless.
Yeah, so my Series S, if I set it as my home console, I can unplug it and take it away on holiday in a caravan with no Wi-Fi or anything and play the games locally on it. You know, depending on the game, obviously. Someone who does that goes, oh, I'll buy this and I'll chuck it in the caravan for when the kids come on holiday. And they're like, oh, well, why is it not working? it's that understanding that you need to get across to them.
Yeah, I guess so. And it's just kind of, we need to understand that not everyone will have the same sort of thought process, and we'll be able to wrap their heads around it as easily. Just quickly, just looking at his shelf quickly, because we've got a picture of the shelves with the Xbox on, which we will put into show notes. But have you seen the Xbox 360 Alan Wake faceplates gone?
Yeah, the faceplates.
After talking about the faceplates last week, just thought I'd bring it up quickly.
Just before we finish, and this wasn't in the notes, but something that is easier for consumers to understand: the Xbox Series X mini fridge. There's a new version of that out.
Yes, there is. Again,
I haven't seen it out over here.
No,
but it's only $55.
I know, it's so much cheaper. So I'm actually intrigued, and it's something that I might actually ask Gusta to get me if it comes out over here.
I don't think. Yeah, I was gonna say you'll never get a chance to get it. I tried to order. Do you know the first one from Game?
Yes.
They went, pre-orders are live now, and I went on. It was like, yeah, we're sold out. We're never getting it back in.
Well, they're trying to get them out as quick as possible, but what I find the most bizarre about this was just a bet, I guess, on Twitter between them and Skittles. And it's turned into this massive thing.
It was also people taking the mick out of the Xbox Series X. Oh, no, it looks like a fridge.
I know.
So they went, okay, well, it is now. We've made it as a fridge. It's a real fridge.
I know, that's the thing. I think it's funny how Xbox has just taken this on the nose and just gone, that's fine. Yeah, take the mick out, that's fine. We'll make a fridge out of it. We're going to release mini fridges with it now because this thing was Skittles. And they're going to release it again.
Well, this is slightly smaller than the previous mini fridge, isn't it?
It is. It still fits about 6 cans as far as I'm aware.
8 cans, it says, for this one.
Is it 8? Okay.
Yeah. I can't remember how many the other one is. I just remember if you took the shelves out, it was perfectly sized to fit an actual Xbox Series X inside of it.
Really?
Yeah. Xboxception.
I just think this is still a very cool thing that they're doing. And I still enjoy
I should hope so. It's a fridge.
Ha. Flipping it. Jeez.
Nice.
Walk away now.
Before the jokes get any worse, should we wrap things up?
Yeah, I guess we will. Now, we know this has been one of our least retro-focused episodes of the Retro Gaming Dads podcast. We'll come back next time with more retro. But for now, we've been the Retro Gaming Dads, and we'll see you next time. I'm intrigued to hear Donkey Kong. Is it Steven Seagal doing that?
Steven Seagal.
Oh, what's his name again?
Steven Seagal, the self-proclaimed martial arts expert, and has only ever been in one half decent movie. And that's it. I'm fairly certain Steven Seagal isn't.
I'm going to start that bit again. Seth Rogen.